Good evening, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Alpa Sharma, and this is our series on Last Lap to CUET 2022. In this series, we talk about various topics that can appear in the CUET 22 examinations. We practice many questions, we do quick revisions, and that's how we aim at cracking CUET at one go. I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to everyone. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Could you please quickly confirm if I'm clearly visible and audible to everybody? Yes? So, yes, clearly visible and audible. Hi, Dia. I hope you're doing great. So, through today's class, we shall be mastering a very important verbal logic topic, that's statement assumptions. And through these questions, through this topic, I'll be giving you many questions. We'll be solving questions. Simultaneously, we'll be revising some concepts of assumptions. That's what we're going to be doing. Namaste, Nasrat. Good evening, Akansha. So that's the agenda of the class today. And we will be practicing these questions and revising the concepts. Now, what exactly are assumptions? Let's try to understand that. One, almost every BBA entrance examination has assumptions coming up as direct questions if you talk about if MAT or any other. But let's try to focus on CUET specifically. CUET, with the new pattern that has emerged, assumptions, and because they basically will be checking us on our logical reasoning skills and our comprehension and objective English skills as well. Assumptions is something that we foresee might come up in the examination. That's what we're going to be doing in the class today. Yes, I am absolutely great. Okay, so that's our agenda. Now let's try to understand exactly what is an assumption. Let's try to understand that, okay? And let's try to understand the concept of how do we approach this kind of question. So, those people who come to my classes regularly know the house that I make. I'm going to make it again, okay? Again with you. And those people who have attended my classes on assumptions, you would know the concept of the house. But let's quickly revise this and we will apply this concept to some new questions. And by solving these questions, we'll attempt at mastering the topic of assumptions. One thing I can assure you here is that if assumptions is your weak point, you will not get it wrong after you watch the class carefully. Okay? So, hi Samir, good evening. Akansha, you know it for sure. Let's quickly revise the house that I make. Okay. Now, I'm so sorry. When I have to build a house, what is the first thing that I make while the building starts? What's the first thing that I make? You have to answer that. Are these walls? Are these windows? Are these pillars? Are these roofs? What is the first thing that we make while we are trying to build a house? What is it? That is our foundation. The first thing we make, that is the foundation. So I'll write this down here. Foundation is the first thing we make before we start building any concrete house. After the foundation is built, we cover it up, we come to the level of the earth and we start making the walls and the beams and the pillars. Okay? So these are the pillars and the walls. And at the top, we put a roof. Now you must be wondering, ma'am, why are we discussing the house? There's a reason why are we discussing the house. This house that you see, do you see the foundation after the house is built? No, you cannot see that. But the foundation is your fundamental, is your base. And it needs to be very strong, because if the foundation shakes, your house is going to collapse. It's going to fall down. This foundation that's there very strongly, holding the house strong, it's there but it's hidden. This foundation is actually our assumption. That is an assumption is basically something that forms the base of the question, but the question does not state that. It's hidden, and it is always made. I'll write a pointer. It's always made before the house is built or before the question is given to you. Always before that. What you draw after it is your conclusion or your roof. You can sometimes see inferences, conclusions. You can see the roof. These pillars are our question. You see the question. You see the roof. That's the conclusion. But you do not see the assumption. So I am going to write down a few pointers for you, which are going to come in handy while we understand the assumption. Let's have a look at the pointers. What are the pointers? I hope the entire fundamental of what an assumption is clear to you, that it's the foundation of a question and it's always made before the question is made. So let me write down a few pointers for you, okay? Just a minute. Here we go. So before you read anything that's written on the slide, I write down a few pointers. The first pointer is the assumption will always be made by the speaker of the question. Let's take an example, okay? Now, if I say, please read this book if you wish to clear CUET, I give you a suggestion. It might be in order as well. Who is the question maker? I am the speaker. So always the assumption will be made by the speaker, the question maker. That's one point we need to remember while we're solving assumptions. The second pointer we need to keep in mind is it will always be made before the question is made. Please make your own sweet notes. They are going to come in handy for solving these questions. So always the speaker is going to make an assumption before giving you the statement. Now, what was my statement? Please read this book if you wish to clear CUET. A correct assumption here would be that while I say the statement, I have already, remember before, I have already assumed that students are going to listen to me. Am I right? Do you agree with me? Let me see how many of you do. Do you guys agree with me? That this assumption will be made correctly before the statement is given. The assumption is the students are going to follow my suggestion. Do you agree? Yes or no? Jayanti, Tanishka in the app and everyone else in YouTube. At least say a yes or no. Okay, Dia agrees. Yeah. Okay. Now, how am I going to even check if that's a correct assumption or not? Now, here is our last pointer and the most important one. The assumption is the foundation of our house. What did I tell you? If the foundation is shaking, the house will collapse. If you speak the opposite of assumption, your question will also become wrong. That is, negation of an assumption will lead to negation of the question. How? Let's try to apply this to my example that I gave you. The example was, please read the book if you wish to clear CUET. My assumption was, students are going to listen to me. If students are not going to listen to me, will I give you this suggestion? I will not. I will probably force you. If I ask my daughter, do not watch TV, I know she will listen to me. If I know she will not listen to me, I will probably shut the TV on my own. I will not ask her. Or probably I'll just forcefully shut the TV. That is, a correct assumption is one where if the assumption is negated, it will always lead to the question being negated as well. That's the mark of a correct assumption. That means my question will be completely dependent on the truthfulness of my assumption. Okay? It will be dependent on the validity of my correct assumption. If the assumption is correct, my question will be correct. If my assumption is wrong, my question will be wrong. If it is a vague assumption, my question can still be correct. The assumption may be correct or not. That means my question is not dependent on the assumption. I hope the negation technique is clear to everyone. Guys, remember my point. Negation technique is the methodology that you need to follow if you wish to master assumption questions. That is the thing you need to remember. You may be confused in n number of questions. This will 100% of the times give you a correct answer. Now we are going to be, I've written all this in pointers, okay? And we are going to apply this to the theory that I'm going to give you. You can take a screenshot of it and read that later on. Okay, I hope this fundamental is clear to everybody. So, are we ready to look at some sample questions and apply the knowledge that we have gained right now? Are we ready, everyone? Shall I show you the first question? The first question is an advertisement. Let's start with basic ones and then I'll give you more questions for practice. The first question that I have is dependent on an advertisement. When I give you an advertisement, there are some assumptions that I always will make. When I give you suggestions, there are different assumptions that I make. So I've categorized certain questions so that it's easier for you to find an assumption within seconds and you don't have to fret about the options. Let's have a look at one advertisement and let's see what assumptions will follow. Read the question and send me your answer. You may be wrong, you may be right, do not worry. Just give this a try. What's your answer? Okay, B. Others? Kaushik, what's your answer? B is the right answer, Sahil. Okay. C, that is both. Okay, Shubhra. There's some confusion. Hi, Rani. Give this question a try, bete. Okay, now let me clear some concept to you. That is, when we have advertisements, forget what the question is. When we have advertisements, the advertisements, be it anything, what is the aim of an advertisement? Let's try to understand that. So we can categorize almost every advertisement question in a certain kind of category. The aim of advertisement is to let people know something. The aim of advertisement is to promote something, right? Or the aim of advertisement could be to increase the sales as well. Okay. Any advertisement given is predominantly dependent upon some things. So for example, if I give an ad in a newspaper saying I am selling this XYZ pen, it will predominantly be first dependent on an assumption that there is at least one person available in the market who does not know of my brand or does not know of what I am doing. Because, understand this everyone, because if every person knows my brand and knows what I am doing, then will I give an advertisement? Will I? No, I will not give the advertisement. I will possibly use some other methodology But why will I waste my money on advertisement if everybody knows about it? Do you get it? Diya? Sahil, did you get it? The fundamental here? If the negation technique, let's try to use it. What did I teach you? If there are no people who do not know, that is, if everybody knows about this brand's umbrellas, why will he spend a humongous amount of money on advertisement? He will not. So with every advertisement, that will be a prerequisite that at least one person does not know of what this brand does. The second assumption will always be implicit, and that will be that people are going to read and respond. If I know people will not read and not respond, I will not waste my money on advertisements. So with that logic, people will read, people will respond, and there are some people who do not know about this brand or what the brand does. So with that logic, assumption 1 should be correct. Because it is an advertisement, at least one person does not know about the brand, and this ad will be also based on an assumption that this person will be informed about this brand that is mentioned in the question. Okay, so that's the first reason here. Now let's have a look at the second assumption, assumption number 2. People prefer sturdy umbrellas. Whatever is being promoted in advertisements, blindly remember this. Whatever is promoted is to be desirable in the market, because if there is no desirability of the characteristic the product has, you will not be promoting it. Either there is an existing desirability or a potential desirability. For example, I'm promoting diamonds, bottles, glasses, mouse, pen, remote, whatever, books, whatever I am promoting, there is a desirability for that quality or that product in the market, either existing or a potential one. Because let's try to follow the negation technique. If people do not prefer sturdy umbrellas, will I promote sturdy umbrellas? Will I put in money to advertise sturdy umbrellas? If I know nobody will buy it, why will I put in money? That means whatever is being promoted, handles, desirable, foldability, desirable, sturdiness, desirable. So preference will always be there. That means with that logic, a lot of you got this correct at one go. The correct answer is both of the assumptions are implicit. Did you get the fundamental here, everyone? If you did, send me a thumbs up and like the session as well if you haven't done that yet. Okay? Now let's try to apply the same logic. Exactly. Yes, Diya. Now let's have a look at the next question applying the same logic. This kind of a question is a different category. We just now spoke of advertisements. Let's try to focus on general statements or facts. If general statements and facts are given in your question, what are the certain assumptions that will follow? Let's try to have a look at that. So, it's a fact that the question states that traffic noise at schools have a detrimental effect on the memory and attention of the students. It's a fact that the question states. If the question states facts, what all will follow as assumptions? Answer this question, everyone. Give this a try. Think carefully, revise the rules that I had given you. What's your answer? Sahil, what's your answer here? Okay, Diya says only one, only one. Okay, all right. Only one. AZK. Okay. Let me explain the question to you, everybody, before I show you the options and you mark the correct answer. There's a fact which shows the relationship between traffic noise at school. So maybe my school is located at the main road and there's a lot of traffic noise that comes in. The statement states that this traffic noise will have a bad effect, a negative effect on the development of working memory and attention in primary school students. So primary school students are being targeted and their memory, working memory and attention will have a negative impact if there is traffic noise. Agreed? Assumption 1 states, like all of you said, assumption 1 will follow. In fact, all of you. Sahil says assumption 2. Okay. Hi Narayan, give this question a try. Okay. Assumption 1 states a major part of the development of memory and intelligence occurs in the early part of life when children are primary school level. If a major part of the development does not occur in primary school children, can still traffic noise have a negative impact on primary school students? Yes or no? I will repeat. Diya, Shubhra, AZK, I will repeat. If a major part of development of memory and intelligence does not occur at primary school level, can traffic noise still have a negative impact on the memory of primary school kids? Yes or no? Narayan, stick with me. You'll pick it up. No. So, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. I actually misread your statement. It can still have an impact. That means my question is not dependent on the truthfulness of that. If this is negated, my question is not negated. If a major part of development does not take place in primary level, traffic noise can still have an impact on the mindset of primary school students. That means if this is made wrong, my question does not become wrong. That means my question is not dependent on my assumption. This is not a certain assumption then. It's only a probable one. Did you get the fundamental here, Shubhra, Diya and AZK? My question is not dependent on it. I'll give you another reason. One, my question does not talk about intelligence. So this is an unrelated term altogether. Two, maybe the major part of development happens when the child is 3 years old. Still, traffic noise can have a detrimental effect on primary school students. And my argument can still be strong enough. This house still stands without this assumption. That means this assumption is not true. Did you get it? Everyone who marked 1 will follow? Yes. So 1 will not follow. Okay. The second one, the study results are erroneous. Is that merely an opinion? You are considering, Sahil, pay attention to this. You are considering this study as a wrong study. You are considering this study as a study full of errors. Why will a speaker make an assumption that his own study is full of errors? No, he will not. So this is merely an opinion and opinions are variable, whereas an assumption needs to be certainly true. So 2 will not follow. That is my correct answer for this would be neither of the assumptions are correct. Everyone who had marked 1 and 2, I hope you understand why are both of them wrong. Let's have a look at the next question, everybody. Now, the third category of us. So, the second category we learned was facts. And remember, when facts are given, we will not back them up with opinions. Okay? And we'll have to look at the certainty of it. Now let's talk about action and prediction. So if you take an action, what's going to follow? A student's performance will improve after they attend an offline bridge course. So if you take the action offline bridge course, the impact will be the student's performance going up. That's my statement. How many assumptions will follow here? Mark your answers. What's your answer? Everybody? It's more like a suggestion. And I have already given you some hints about what, okay, A. All right. Looks like you guys are B, okay. All right. Okay, let me explain this to you. So it's more like a suggestion, right? And you remember the first example that I had given you about a suggestion? Read this book if you wish to clear CUET. Now the suggestion here is that if you join this offline bridge course, your performance will go up. Whenever, I'll jot it down here, write it down here. Whenever a suggestion is given, the suggestion is always dependent on the assumption that the suggestion will be followed. If your mother asks you to study, she believes you're going to follow her. If she knows you will not study, she will stop asking you to study. If I ask you to like my session, I will assume that you are going to follow it. Because if I know you will not like my session, why will I even ask you? On that note, did you like my session? Like as in clicking on the like icon. If you haven't done that yet, please do it. Back to the question. If the suggestion is given here that join this bridge course to give your performance up, one assumption is that improvement of performance is desirable by the students and people are going to respond to the suggestion positively. So the students are going to attend the offline bridge course. It's like an advertisement only. Sahil, do you agree with me? It's like an advertisement only. I'm promoting something. Shubhra, do you get it? It's more like an advertisement where I'm promoting something on an offline bridge course. And the moment I promote something, I want you to respond to it positively. That means my assumption is students will respond to it positively. In reality, whatever might happen, but we're not concerned about reality because remember the assumption is given by the speaker. In reality, the reader might do anything else. Shubhra and Sahil, yes, you get it. The first will be a valid assumption because if the students are not if the students are not going to attend the offline bridge course, why will I even promote this course? Why will I even give you the suggestion? I will not. So negation of it leads to the negation of the statement. Let's have a look at statement number 2. Bridge courses are generally expensive and students do not prefer to attend them. If the students do not prefer, why would I promote it? I promoted it because the students prefer it rather not preferring it. And about the cost of the product, there is no information in the question. So I cannot say anything at all about the cost of the product. Can I? No, I cannot. It's beyond the scope of my argument. Thus, the correct answer is going to be only and only one follows. Okay? That's our correct answer here. Now, let's move on to the next category of questions. That's advice and suggestion. We've already discussed that in bits and pieces. Let's quickly jump on to the question before I give you any, no. Here you go. Read the question and tell me how many assumptions will follow? Ma'am, could the reason for B be that even if expensive, it doesn't mean that it won't improve? Exactly. And it does not mean that I will not promote it. Even if it is expensive, I still might promote it. For example, diamonds. Yes, they're expensive, but still they're being promoted. You see Tanishq sending ads everywhere. You're right, Dia. Solve this question. What is the answer? Quick, quick, quick. What is the answer, everyone? Only one, only two, both, neither. Okay, AZK says both. In the app, what's the answer? Only two. Okay, Dia says only two. All right, let's see the question. If you have any query about our employment contract and terms and conditions, please contact our company lawyer. Who is the speaker? Some spokesperson of the company that's mentioned here. For example, the name of the company is XYZ. So I'll say XYZ person's company's employee, somebody who works for XYZ, is speaking this on behalf of the company. I'll say the company is speaking this, okay? What did I teach you? Assumptions will be made by the speaker. How do I know anything about all companies having corporate lawyers? I know I have a company lawyer. I know the employees can contact my company lawyer about the employment contract, about the terms and conditions. How can I say anything about any other company? Can I say that? Yes or no? I can't. No, I can't say anything about all the companies. I know my company has a company lawyer, but I don't know about other companies. So all is a very extreme word. I cannot say anything about anyone else. First will be wrong. The second one says the company's lawyer is well versed in dealing with the issue. Okay. If I take, for example, I am a government employee, okay? I am the Prime Minister of the country. And I say, citizens, if you have any query, speak to my Home Minister. If I take his name, speak to my Home Minister. That means the Home Minister knows the work. If he does not know the work, I will not promote him. If you have any queries about the BYJU'S Exam Prep CUET program, I'll say speak to the counselors. The number is given below. That means I believe that the counselor knows the programs that I have. If the counselor does not know our programs, will I give her number to you? I will not. That means the company's lawyer knows the job of dealing with the issues of contracts, terms and conditions. That's exactly why his name has been taken. If he did not know this work, I will not name him. Did I name the president of the company, the CEO of the company for the issues related to terms and conditions of the contract? I didn't, because possibly that's not their job, or that's something they're not working for. A lawyer knows the work, and that's exactly why the lawyer's name is taken. Thus, the correct answer for this question is a very, very clear, only and only two will follow. Okay? Agreed? Let's have a look at the next question. Problem and course of action. So this kind of a question will have a problematic situation and a solution given to you. Okay? So to check betting in sports, problem, this is the problem given. Sports persons must be paid handsomely. That's the solution. How many assumptions will follow? Give this a try. Careful. Carefully, okay? You can categorize this question also as something where you are giving a suggestion. Sahil, that means good. Very good. So, good pay. Pay handsomely is good pay. So, Dia says A. Okay. Others? What's your answer here? Why do I have only one answer? Sahil, what is your answer, my child? Let me explain the question to you if you're confused, okay? So, there's a problem of betting, and there's a suggestion that the speaker is giving you. If there's a suggestion given by the speaker believes the suggestion will work. That will always be the assumption behind the suggestion. The problem is betting, and his suggestion is if you pay the sports persons good, if you pay them good amount, they will not indulge into betting. And he believes that this suggestion will work. Let's see assumption 1. Betting in sports can be checked. If you cannot check betting, will he give you this? If the checking on betting is beyond our control, can I give you any suggestion? For example, earthquakes. We cannot control earthquakes. That's beyond our control. I will not give you methodology of controlling earthquakes, right? Death, for example, is beyond our control. I will not give you suggestions of you can delay death, but that's going to ultimately happen. You cannot be living forever. So how to live forever, I'll not give you suggestions on that. That means betting can be checked, and that's exactly why how to check on betting is suggested by the speaker here. Did you get it? Yeah? A will obviously follow. It can be checked, and that's why it is a suggestion given to you. Now the second one says paying sports persons well will help check the problem of betting. Let's negate it. If paying sports persons well, that is handsomely, if it does not check the problem of betting, will I give you this suggestion? Will I give you this suggestion? Think. No, I will not. Dia, that means it's dependent on the second one as well. Is it? I'll repeat everyone. When I give you a suggestion or a solution rather, my belief always will be as a speaker that it will help you. It is something that can be worked upon and you're going to follow what I'm saying. That is, it can be worked upon, written here, and it will give you a solution because I am suggesting my assumption is it will work out. 2 says it is going to work out because if this did not work out, why will I even give you the suggestion? I ask you to read the Hindu daily because I know it will work out. If I believed it will not work out, I would not give you that suggestion. I'll say something else that might work out for you. So with that logic, both our assumptions are going to be implicit here. Okay? Yes, AZK, it's both. Exactly. Miss Dekha, what's your name? I'm so sorry. It's too tiny. So it's difficult to read, but Ms. Deka, I hope you get it. Yes, you got it correct. Okay, so that's our correct answer. Let's have a look at the next question. That's another category of words used and meaning of the statement. Let's see that. Feature films are the most popular medium of entertainment. Medium of entertainment for the people. What are the assumptions I will make when I give you this statement? Of course, I can, but paying well certainly will check. Will it or not? So look at it that way. I won't pay, I can still check the betting, but paying well will certainly check betting. That's the assumption. Here, question number 6. B, everyone says B. Okay. Asta says C, that is both. Let's understand the question, everyone. Feature films are the most popular medium of entertainment. Most popular medium of entertainment is the keyword here. What does that mean? In your own words, explain that. What does that mean when I say something is the most popular medium of entertainment? Most popular medium of entertainment can be watching Netflix, watching reels on Instagram. Most popular medium of entertainment. It could be watching a sports, watching Nadal playing, watching cricket, watching movies. Whatever is a popular medium of entertainment is something that people massively do because it is popular and people look out for it. So people massively do that. But does that mean it's the only medium of entertainment? There could be 10 medium of entertainments. The most popular being movies is what the question says. So I don't know if this is the only medium. Okay, I can't say it's the only medium. Next, A will certainly not follow. 2 says people enjoy feature film. Let's try the negation technique. If people did not enjoy feature films, could it become the most popular medium of entertainment? Yes or no? If people did not enjoy feature films, could it become the most popular medium of entertainment? Could it? No, it couldn't. That means the truthfulness of this is necessary for making this true as well. Exactly. Thus, our correct answer is only and only 2 is correct. Okay? Only and only 2. Next question, everyone. You guys are getting better. I think you're getting a hang of what assumptions are now. You're picking it up. Let's have a look at the next question. Question number 7. What's the answer? After logging in with their unique exam ID, the students can start answering the test. So it's an examiner speaking. Okay? So assumptions have to be made by the examiner, remember. A, okay. Both, okay. It's a little tricky. Only one word. can change your answer from here to there. Let me explain the question. The examiner says that after logging in with the unique ID, you can start answering the test. That means if this is an instruction or direction given by the examiner, he believes the students are going to listen to him and follow him. And the students they understand the instructions. That's exactly why the instructions are given. And the language in which the instructions are given, that's also understood by the readers or the listeners. These are basic assumptions that will always follow. So the students can understand the instruction. Yes, he believes into that. That's exactly why this instruction is given. Because if he believes the students cannot understand, he will not give you this instruction. He'll probably sit there and make everybody log in physically instead of giving them the instructions. Okay. So the truthfulness of first is absolute necessary for the question to be true. But the second one is a tricky one. Some students will start answering the test without logging in. Will means necessity. If I give you a suggestion, I believe everyone will follow the suggestion. Can I be absolutely sure that at least one person will not follow my suggestion? No, I can't be sure about that. Maybe everybody follows it. So it's a maybe scenario. I cannot be sure that at least some students will not follow it. Rather, my assumption will be that everybody will follow it. So with that logic, will the second one follow? It will not. Only and only A will be the correct assumption. All right. Let's have a look at the next question, everybody. Here you go. A quick reminder to like the session, share the session, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Negation technique. You use the negation technique, you will get the answer here in one go. D, Ritika, okay, that is neither, okay. Ritika, did you use the negation technique, bete? Please use that. Others watching me live on YouTube, what's your answer? D, that is neither, neither. I'll give you a question. You guys are not using the negation technique. If the college will not be in existence after 180 days, why will I say that the meeting will be held? If there is no college after 180 days, if it will shut down, why will I say the next meeting of the academic council of the college will be held after 180 days? Let's take another example. This is a government. The government says, I am going to be providing you electricity in your village after 1 month. If after 1 month the government is not going to be there, will the government give you this promise? No. There's an assumption that the government will continue working, and that's why the promises are made. There's a promise that's made here. This promise is dependent on the continuation of its tenure. If the tenure ends, no promises will be made. Did you get it? No, still it would be wrong. Okay? All those people who are marking this second will not follow. Did you get it? I'll give you another simple example. I say enroll yourself for BYJU'S Exam Prep BBA programs. That means BYJU'S Exam Prep will be providing you BBA programs till your BBA examination is conducted. If we are not going to provide you programs, why will I promote my programs? The same reasoning is used here. The college is going to be in existence for 180 days at least. And that's exactly why I say after 180 days, there will be a meeting held of the student academic council. It's going to be in existence. That's a necessity. Because if the college does not exist, the meeting cannot be held. If this does not happen, this will not happen. This is absolutely necessary for this to be true. My statement is dependent on this. The first one, the present council will be dissolved in a new council. How do I know that? How do I know that a new council? I know there's going to be a meeting held of the academic council after 180 days. Today is one meeting. After 180 days, there will be another meeting. How do I know that the existing one will be dissolved and a new one will be formed? It's too much to assume. That's beyond the given information to us in the question. Okay? Preeti, did you get it? A will be wrong, beta. A will not follow. Because I don't know about the dissolving of the council and making a new one. I only know that today is the first meeting and the next meeting will be held after 180 days. That's the only thing that I know. Thus, A will not follow. It's only and only 2. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 9. What's our answer here? Give this a try. They are after this question. What is our answer? In the app, both, okay? Sahil, does my question refer to government officers or does it only refer to officers being honest or dishonest? It doesn't refer to government officers. Too much beyond the data given to us in the question. Shubhra, we don't know anything about government officers. All we know is the question refers to the officer being honest and he cannot be corrupt. This officer can be a government officer, can be a non-government officer, he could be anyone, right? Thus, the second one will not follow. Let's understand this. What did I say in the question? This officer is a very honest officer and that's why he cannot be corrupt is the meaning of the sentence. The officer is a very honest officer and he cannot be corrupt. Honest officers are corrupt. No, the question says honest officers are not corrupt. The meaning is he is too honest to use corrupt practices. That means he is an honest person and he cannot be corrupt is the meaning given to us here. Please understand the statement. Honest officers are corrupt. It's the opposite. Rather, the question says honest officers cannot be corrupt. Okay, so that is going to be our incorrect assumption. So our answer is going to be neither of them. Preeti, you got that right at one go. Okay, all right. Ritika, Sahil, I hope you got this. Let's have a look at question number 10, everyone. That's the last question for today's class. Ah, Diya, I missed your message. Also, I missed explaining the previous question. I'll go back after this question. We've done similar kind of question today. You should get this correct now. B. Only two? Only two? You guys are picking it up now. The correct answer is only two. Let's understand this, okay? These are the options and the correct answer is only and only two here. Let's understand the question here. So, it's a suggestion given to us. That means my assumption is the suggestion will work. The suggestion is if you want to control cheating and malpractices, install CCTV cameras, one, and we need to have army officers as well. These are the two things that are mandatory. That means these two things, both of them are going to work. They're going to be effective. Army officers as invigilators and CCTV cameras also. Both are going to be effective measures. That's something I have assumed. Thus, this will absolutely follow. Let's have a look at the first assumption. How do I know that people are getting into immoral activities? Is that not more of an opinion here? My question does not give me an opinion. It gives me data and facts. And he believes into the fact that if you want to control cheating and malpractices, install a camera and bring an army officer. That's how you control it. But I cannot assume if these are immoral activities. That's where I use my GK. They are wrong. They need to be controlled. All I know is that they need to be controlled and these are the ways how they can be controlled. But I don't know if these are immoral activities. Also, I don't know if these are happening in India. Too much to assume. Okay. So, for that matter of fact, okay, Anubhav, I'll go back to that. The correct answer here is going to be only and only two will follow. Somebody had a doubt with question number 9. Anubhav, I'll take you back to question number 9. The officer is too honest to use corrupt practices. Please understand, it's a play of words. Understand the meaning of the question. What is the question saying? Forget the assumptions. Understand what is the question saying. If I say, this book is too good to be boring, it means the book is very good and it cannot be boring. Because good books are not boring. That's what is the meaning. This book is too good to be boring means the book is very good, thus it cannot be boring. The officer is too honest to use corrupt practices means the officer is an honest person and he cannot be corrupt. That's the meaning. Honest officers use corrupt practices. It's the other way around, the question says. Honest officers do not use corrupt practices. That's what he believes in. And, okay? Got it, everyone? And we do not know anything about government officers, so we cannot say that. Yes, I am going to be conducting that. Okay? Did everyone get the fundamental here? And this was also a doubt with somebody. I'll explain this again. Diya, if I say, I will take my Hindu editorial class for 2023 tomorrow, does that mean I'll be working for BYJU'S Exam Prep tomorrow? It means that, right? That's exactly why I'll be taking my 2023 Hindu class for CLAT aspirants tomorrow. If I was not working, I would not be able to take that class. If I say the next meeting will be held after 180 days, I assume that college will be functioning for 180 days when the next meeting will be held. If the college does not exist, no meetings will be held. That's how you find the answer here. Are you convinced, everyone? I hope I've cleared all your doubts. Now, a few things before I wind up the session. Please understand, try finding the assumptions in all the verbal logic questions that you solve. This will aid on to your understanding of verbal logic, one-liner questions and paragraph-based questions as well. Assumption is the prerequisite of understanding any critical reasoning question, and practice many questions so that you're able to master it. If you're stuck anywhere, please save my video and watch it again later on if you're stuck, because in the beginning, all those people who've joined me late, in the beginning, I've given you massive theory that's going to help you. So if you still haven't watched the beginning part of this class, make sure after the class ends, you watch it. Okay, that's what I ask you to do. This is our schedule for the coming week, where Ankur sir, Vikas sir, Salik sir, Gaurav sir, and then again Salik sir will be taking many classes for the last lap to CUET. Please join us for our IPMET Rohtak 22 First Impression live analysis on 26 June, IPMET endorsed live analysis on July 2nd, and CUET's first live analysis on July, whenever the examination happens. So I hope you've learned from what I've taught. If you have learned that, please make sure you like the session. Do not leave the class without liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Subscribe us by clicking on the bell icon on our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and download the app on Google Play. Thank you so much, everyone. It was great having you here. I shall see you very soon with another class in the last lap to CUET and last lap to IPMAT as well if you're targeting IPMAT. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a very good night. God bless all of you.